Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the OWCS side stream on BPL. We've got an elimination matchup here, Ray. It's between LFO and Pirates in Pyjamas. And we just saw Pirates Pyjamas put Timeless in the ringer for a little bit until Timeless started crawling back.
Yeah, I feel like, Timeless is up there with Toronto Defiant, Luminosity Gaming, those types of teams, one of the favorites to win it all and be one of those top 3 teams to make it to DreamHack. So for Pirates to push them to the edge to a map 5 banger is incredible. But I feel like we have to talk about LFO for a minute, because LFO took the first map off of Toronto, the entirety of the round robin and the group stage. They pushed them to the edge in map number 4 as well. So LFO is also, coming off some good vibes despite the loss.
I mean, yeah, this LFO squad is incredibly good. Obviously, if we have followed any bit of Overwatch League in the past and Korean contenders, you'll know this roster by heart. Top Dragon coming in there. There we have it. Seeker, Top Dragon, Zera, Mirror, Liar, and MCD on LFO. That's the new team we're looking at here. And then going back to Pirates in Pyjamas, we just saw them on stream. Chronic, Lukewarm, Stone, Taeyong, Strider, Zolik, Magic, Mateball, and Divinity.
Yeah, so both teams loaded with talent. LFO a little bit more on the Overwatch League side. Pirates and Pyjamas more on like the contender side, which is kind of like that battle between the big boys who've kind of been around in Overwatch League and the up and comers. So who is really going to take that stride? I feel like I'm going to slightly favor LFO just because I was impressed with, their first 2 maps against Defiant were not great, but they win map number 3, and then New Junk City came down to 99-99 on the final 5th point. So I think LFO's got some good momentum despite losing, and they got to feel pretty good taking a map off the Defiant.
Yeah, no, I definitely have to agree with you there. And again, I think just solely based on star power, I have to go favoring a little bit more towards LFO at the moment. Obviously, Pirates and Pyjamas really just put up a good fight, but how do we know that's not going to boon them in the end? Because they were up, and then they let Timeless come back and win the series still. So, I mean, you've got to think, is that affecting the mentals right now for this for Pirates and Pyjamas at the moment? Or are they able to bounce back? They've got to figure it out here and now, because, well, it's an elimination match. Winner goes home. You do not want to be one of the first 2 teams out in this first major.
That you do not. And as you can see below, the maps have been picked by the teams. So we'll be starting out on Samoa, going to Kings Row and Esperanza, and if the series calls for it, New Junk City and Shambali.
There's the crab. The crab is crabbing it up.
Right. I had a name for him. I want to say it was like Lionel. I don't remember. I had a name for him. I can't remember what it was.
All I know, Ray, is I would love to be in Samoa right now, because like the Northeast, it is ridiculously cold again for no good reason after it was 60 degrees last week. And I'm just kind of just hoping and waiting for my vacation and to start next week in a nice warm state.
Yeah, that's a little rough there as we get a look at these compositions currently loaded up in the server. I've always been curious because I was watching a little bit of that Toronto Defiant LFO game, and it was a big, like, just the tanks constantly counter swapping each other. So that's the one thing I've liked about them making this Malga nerf coming in. But both teams are electing to go with the Orissas here, which I think is smart. Orissa was already one of the tanks you could go up against Malga with, so Malga getting nerfed means Orissa probably pretty good, pretty strong at this point.
Yeah, no, I was seeing a lot of just talk with Malga going back into the bin somewhat. Orissa was just going to become the mainstay yet again, just because it is somewhat similar to Malga, and it can just do so much deniability with these flankers that you're trying to run with we're seeing right now Zera and well, both of these teams running actually mirror compositions here. We'll see how it can work as the duel is already coming in. Zera looking for an opportunity for an assassination, almost being able to take down Stone, but the Orissa battle in front is going the way of Pip for the moment, and they are going to be able to get that first capture there. Strider and company able to start it off.
Yeah, trading Mirror for Divinity, you will take that every day if you're Pirates and Pyjamas, because your Kiriko's going to get that much faster because the teleport and the positioning Pirates have taken are just stronger.
Oh, and they're just going right into it, trying to get the remaining members of LFO out before they can regroup and allow Mirror to get back into this. But still, they haven't been able to dislodge them from this point at the moment. Zira still trying to build up to this pulse bomb. The duel coming in with Stone, and it's going to be Liar coming in from the top ropes with a boop, taking him down. And now this is a perfect opportunity for LFO to come back into this, as both sound barriers have been invested. Pulse bomb coming in and stuck onto Strider, and Strider gonna be taken care of thanks to Zira. As now this is a perfect opportunity for LFO. They've got everything they want, and they've got the point in their favor.
Yeah, that was a lot of point gained, and you were able to get the pulse bomb out of Zera if you are the side of Pip. So you're in a situation where you can come back, you're going to re-engage, you're going to have the pulse bomb advantage. So you're going to have to look for a nice, juicy target. I mean, it's always going to be that Orisa's going to be the easy one. You just got to keep an eye out for that javelin spin. Is LFO finally going to take some strong positions here on the point, as Pirates always had the power play when it came to positioning?
Chronic very low, gonna get healed up though, but the pulse bomb stack comes through from Stone.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, now is the perfect opportunity for Pip to come back and take this before they get slapped in ultimate or capture percentage. But Zera's just saying no. They found 3 picks of their own. The Terror Surge coming in, but Mirror is so low, but Zera is unstoppable, has found another pick, looking for another one. Can they find the 5th? Oh my goodness, Zera keeps popping off. The 5K coming in for the Tracer of LFO.
What did I just witness? Zera putting on the carry pants for LFO. Zera's always been one of my favorite players in contenders on this Tracer, showing us why they're one of those up-and-coming big-time Tracer players, putting on a show and saving what was a losing fight for LFO.
Just incredible stuff. Now they've got the pulse bomb yet again. The overclock coming in from Seeker, but there's the Terror Surge coming in from Strider, trying to change things back into their favor. But Strider's so low, but Seeker is going to be the one to go down. Pulse bomb out, but it's not going to find anything for Zera. This Chronic still has an opportunity to hold on, but the overclock not going to find anything. The ultimates really didn't get anything for either of these two teams, but now Stone has the pulse bomb back up, not going to be able to find anything, as Mirror is going to be able to walk away, but still goes down. Stone finds 2, and it's going to be able to flip back over to Pip, but they cannot lose a fight now.
Yeah, you got that down to 1 fight, as we're going to be going into a fight where it's just sound barrier versus sound barrier. So really, a lot of the times we tend to say the later sound barrier tends to be the better one, but I'm looking to see which team is going to get aggressive with this sound barrier and look to find a pick very quickly and put themselves in a decisive 5v4 fight to be able to flip this point or keep it in their favor.
I'm really excited to see this engagement coming in from LFO. They are going to rotate around. They're still just playing it a little bit slow, though. They are waiting for Zera to get into the back, look for a kill, try to find out someone, solo someone out, but they're just buying time. They don't really have to go yet, but if they waste any longer, there's the sound barrier. Now they're going to be able to go in, but the sound barrier in response from 8-Ball is there to keep things going. As Strider's so low, going to have to javelin spin away, but MCD finds a kunai and takes down 8-Ball. Mirror gets aggro and takes down 2 as well, and that's just a huge play coming in off the back of the tank of LFO, all thanks to Liar's sound barrier, and that should be round number 1 going the way of LFO with the pulse bomb taking down Strider.
What a way to open up the series. Essentially 99-99 for both of these teams. They've each had their pop-off moments, but in that final fight, LFO getting the isolation on to Strider, getting him down early in that fight, it basically set everything up for LFO to find that victory, because in Overwatch 2, it's not like Overwatch 1 where you had 2 tanks. You take down the enemy tank, 9 times out of 10, you're likely winning that fight. And unless, of course, you have Zera on your team, who'll just go get a 5K for you.
Yeah, that's just great stuff all around. Both of these two teams are really putting on their carry pants right now, particularly between these two Tracers. They're just going blow for blow, but Zero at the moment is just getting that upper hand. We'll see how they can work going in on to it's a volcano. That's what it's called, right? This is what this is.
Yes, it is called Volcano. And Stone already gets an opening pick.
I assumed it was, but I didn't want to make any assumptions. But Stone, yeah, like you said, already finding that opening pick, and Pip continuing to find these picks, as that should just be enough to win them this fight and stake their claim on round number 2's point.
And that's just the DPS, you know, making some big plays. Stone on the Tracer coming through, because last map it was kind of the story of Zera and the carry that he was putting on. So Stone immediately comes in like, look, I could do the kind of stuff that Zera could do. I'm going to set my team up and get a quick first team fight. But this is kind of what happened on the previous map. Can Pirates continue to hold defensively and continue to take control at this point?
And now, we saw Mir trying to proc up that, and still procking up the objective, trying to get the force of the fight onto the point. But right now, they're not really worrying about it too much as Chronic comes in and takes Liar down with the secondary fire, and the rail shot, and now with a disruptor shot as well, taking Zera out as Seeker goes down quickly afterwards, as Pirates and Pyjamas are holding this point strong for the moment.
And Chronic looking extremely good on this Sojourn, always finding the right angles, and it's making things tough for LFO. I feel like if you're Zera, you have to find a way to get on top of Chronic and not allow him to take these angles and have all this space to work with.
Yeah, definitely. But now they can walk in here. They almost they have this pulse bomb from Zero, but they're gonna have to use that recall to stay alive. The pulse bomb does come through, and Strider is gone. But Chronic says no and takes him out with another rail shot to the dome. Can they figure this out? MCD using the Kitsune Rush to go in, take this fight. They need to take it now before it gets out of hand. It's already up to 70% for Pip, and the stall just keeps coming through, and they might be able to hold on to this if they can find a pick. But losing Divinity there late is not what you wanted to see. But again, you're going to take that all day, every day if you're Pirates and Pyjamas.
Yeah, you're going to get that all the way to 82%. You got out the Kitsune Rush. Pirates going to come back. They'll have a Kitsune to be able to engage with. All signs are pointing up for Pirates despite losing that fight. The one thing LFO is going to have going for them is this Chronic will have this overclock, but Liar has the sound barrier, as Magic 8 Ball used that in that previous fight. So the sound barrier is going to be the one thing LFO has going for them.
Yeah, definitely is. The Terror Surge, though, is going to be invested early on by Mirror. Not going to be able to find anything, though. But Divinity is now down out of the fight. The Overclock has been invested, but the Sound Barrier, like you said, invested by Liar, but it's just not going to be enough to save Mirror. But still, the trades keep going into the favor of LFO, and that is just going to allow them to keep their hold at this point for now.
I mean, well played by LFO. I mean, they did a great job of positioning themselves. Yes, you lose Mirror in that fight, but you're able to find 2 picks in exchange, and then you're able to win the fight because of that. So you put yourself in a good spot. However, Pirates are coming back. They're going to be able to engage with the Kitsune Rush. Look at this. They're already at the point.
Already on the point is huge for them. Now the Kitsune Rush coming in, pushing LFO all the way back. Now gonna have to go in to that sight line as Stone finds 2 with the pulse bomb. The supports are gone, and now so is Mirror, and that is just gonna be Stone going for 4. Oh my goodness, these Tracers have been putting on a show for us today, Ray.
As Stone has himself a little Zera moment there, completely flipping that point on its head. Seeker now going to swap over to the Sombra, which is really interesting. You don't tend to see that going against Orissa's in these compositions.
Ooh, but Chronic goes down, and Divinity's quickly found afterwards as MCD does get fallen, but they use that Kitsune Rush, and it just helps LFO get quickly back to the point and take it with a team kill coming through. That's now down to last fight territory for both of these two teams. No, neither of them can afford to lose.
Yeah, and Zera was able to bank the pulse bomb. Mirror's gonna have this Terror Surge. This sound barrier is coming up. Things are looking a little bit rough for Pirates. They're gonna be relying heavily on Strider finding something big with this Terror Surge, or hoping Stone makes another big play on this Tracer.
There's the pulse bomb out from Zera, and Chronic goes down. That's just not what you wanted to see. As Mirror pops the Terror Surge, Strider needs to have a huge play, but it's just not gonna happen. That should be all but over, with everything going the way of LFO to take the map and start things off in the favor 1-0.
I mean, shout outs to both of these teams. LFO, they just had the goods at the end of the day. They had the ultimates to be able to push into that final fight. Pirates used a little bit too much in the previous fight, and they didn't have it to match LFO, and they're able to flip that. But 99-99, this series, despite a 2-0 victory for LFO, is looking extremely close. So don't be surprised as we progress through this series. I think the next map pick was Pirates. So they have a favorable matchup going into Kings Row, and they're going to, I think they have a good chance at getting themselves back in the series.
Yeah, no, definitely. However, with the nature of Kings Row being everyone's favorite map, quote unquote, everyone knows what Kings Row brings to the table. So it'll be interesting to see if Pirates and Pyjamas can get the one up on them. The one up on LFO here, because it's a known map. It's a known quantity. It's not one of these maps that you can bring out a funky strategy and just hope it works when things aren't going your way.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, there's no mysteries to a map like Kings Row. It's been here since day one. We know the comps, we know the strats, we know what people like to play on these maps. It would not surprise me if we continue to see more Orisa gameplay. I feel like that's just the stronger tank right now. I mean, we did see in that matchup for LFO and Toronto, we saw a lot of tank swaps. We saw Sigma at one point from someone. We saw Doomfist. We saw Malga coming out from LFO. So it's not completely set, but more on a brawl type map like Kings Row. You're either going to get this Orisa or this Malga based compositions, most likely.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to be sticking with the Orisa here. I'm not gonna. I like the idea that Chronic is going for at the moment. It is just obviously that chance to get that one pick potential, and we're probably just seeing that swap over to the Sojourn right after they take their shot from spawn. Other than that, really nothing's changed. I mean, there's no reason to change anything. Everything was working well. You just gotta be a little bit more careful, I would say, if you're Pirates and Pyjamas.
Yeah, and have a little bit better control of the ult economy. LFO seemed like when it came to crunch time, they had a couple more ultimates in their favor. So, starting out on defense for LFO, hoping to make a strong statement, look for a first point hold and continue this momentum. So I think it's going to be imperative for Pirates and Pyjamas to get a nice quick point cap going.
Yeah, Zero already forced recall out from both of the Tracers here. As now, man, Meatball has him in a corner though, so they could be able to find Zero out as they're just going to trample on through to take down Zero early on, but losing Strider is just not what you wanted to see. But in the meanwhile, Pirates and Pyjamas are proccing the point and are going to be able to get 1 point or 1 tick of progress already, just for free, really, as MCD is going to take down Divinity, and that's just going to have to be a reset coming in for Pirates and Pyjamas.
Yeah, I think stealing that 1 tick of progress is going to be good. So even if you get a staggered fight, if you're Pirates and not a clean team fight win, because you only have to get 2 more ticks, you're going to get this point. So they put themselves in a good position. But again, this is going to be tough. Seeker is just able to stay on these high grounds time and time again, just untouched. So I feel like if you're Pirates, you got to find a way to get a lot of these players off of the high ground.
Yeah, you really gotta dislodge them right now and then rotate in, but Seeker's found Stone already, and it's just not what you wanted to see. This Chronic is gonna go so low, and Seeker's found another shot with the railgun, taking down Mateball. Yeah, that's just gonna be the reset. Seeker's just going crazy with the Sojourn right now.
Yeah, and again, it feel like they just forced the point, hoping to steal a second tick, but a team like LFO is not going to let you get away with something like that. They're going to have their Tracer go touch, keep their players on the high ground, and just poke you out. And Seeker, being one of the better hit scans we've ever seen in NA, is just going to continue to free farm on this high ground unless you do something about it. You can't just keep pushing the point and hoping something is going to change.
Yeah, no, definitely. They've got to be able to figure something out, and with these ultimates already coming online for LFO, it's just going to be even harder. The Strider's trying to take away that high ground away from LFO, but a nice shot already came in from Seeker, and Strider goes down from that overclock, and that's just going to force a reset yet again for Pirates and Pyjamas. You can't push in without Strider right now.
Yeah, you are coming into a situation, however, where you're going to be facing 3 ultimates versus the 5 you've been able to stockpile. So if Pirates had any opportunity to make things happen and open this point up finally, it is right now. But I talked about them keeping control of the ult economy. They can't just throw all 5 of these ults in there and expect, I mean, they'll get the point, but you're going to need more to get pushed.
Ooh, that's huge, but it's traded back immediately. Seeker just keeps on clicking heads for LFO right now. Kitsune rushes are dueling on the point, but the sound mirror coming in from Liar is there. Now Mateball drops their own. Terra Surge is there. Seeker has now been taken out, and that finally looks like Pip have the control of the point they were desperately looking for, as they just have to deal with the remaining stragglers of LFO.
As it costs you 4 ultimates to be able to cap that, but you got LFO to commit all 3 of their ultimates. So Stone is going to have the pulse bomb. We've seen him pop off time and time again when he's had that. So you got that going for you, as that's really the ultimate that's going to be online for this next fight. And getting this cart past these archways is going to be imperative. This is such a strong defensive position that LFO is going to be able to take.
Oh, and Seeker's already found Divinity, though, and Strider's just going to go quickly afterwards. But if they could find Mira, that would be massive for their re-engagement. But, well, that's just not going to be the case as Zero finds 2.
Yeah, even 1 pick at this point is very favorable for Pirates and Pyjamas, even if you trade, because the spawns are just so far away for LFO. So that's your name of the game right now, Pirates. Is just looking for an opening pick, because you should be able to ride the momentum with that opening pick.
Yeah, you've got to be able to get this opening pick if you are Pirates and Pyjamas, as we're waiting it out. The Disruptor shot has been used. And they're still just waiting it out. They're still having nothing to do, but Liar going down is massive. Trying to build up to that sound mirror, no longer going to be an option, as the pulse bomb has been invested. Kitsune Rush now going in from MCD as well. But is it going to be enough to stop the onslaught? They have lost Strider, but the picks just keep going in the way of Pirates and Pyjamas. Even though there are trades coming in for LFO, it's just not enough for them, as Mateball finds down Zero.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Your spawns are so much closer for Pirates, so the trades are so much better for them. And they were able to do it with LFO committing their Kitsune Rush and their Pulse Bomb. You are in such a strong position now if you're Pirates. You have the tools in your tool chest to be able to get this point across the finish line and get point B.
Yeah, you've got to figure it out here, and that could be huge, as Chronic has come in and taken down Mirror. Seeker's invested their overclock as well, too. But it's just not going to find any picks. It did find some damage, but right now, I mean, Pip has just turned this entire map on its head, it really feels like. They were looking really like they might get full held, but now they're looking like they're going to try to capture point 2.
Yeah, they're probably going to have to win one more fight with basically even ults on both sides as the Kitsune Rush comes in.
Rush comes in, Terra Surge is available, but the Sound Mirror is invested first. There's a Terra Surge coming in, and it's going to lock up a lot of people, but not going to find anyone. They get there in the end for the 0.4 meters, but it's just not going to matter in the long run, as all the picks are red, as Pirates in Pyjamas are going to looking to hold on. No, maybe Zero finds 2 picks, but yeah, and again, we're not going to see the 5v5 or the 5K come in yet again for Zero.
And, you know, I talked about previously on that first point how you couldn't, you know, just throw in every single ult and win that fight because you needed ults to start getting some momentum on this point B. that there, using all your ults to cap point B, that's okay, because now you get a chance to, you know, get this whole thing, reset the ult economy. You're in a good spot if you're Pirates.
And speaking of momentum, Chronic finding a headshot on the Liar does not also really helps your momentum stay in your favor. And Zira going down again here to Stone. This Tracer duel has just been so back and forth throughout the series, but right now Stone has the upper hand in it, I would have to say, as they have the pulse bomb available. Where are they going to look for a stick? But the fight is breaking out. They're trying to come in. There's the pulse bomb out, but it's not going to find anyone now. Kitsune Rush being invested in Chronic goes down, and that is just going to be a full sale reset coming in from Pip.
I mean, you basically trade Pulse Bomb for Kitsune Rush. I feel like you'll take that trade. If you are Pirates, you're going to be coming into basically 4 ultimates versus 4 ultimates. Again, this is going to come down to the aggressive plays coming out of both of these teams. Last time we saw Chronic and Seeker both pop their overclocks. Chronic got the better end of it and got Mirror out of the fight, and Seeker really didn't get much out of it. So let's see what happens this time.
Liar finding Stone is huge. Now ultimates being dumped in by both of the teams, but the picks just going in the favor of LFO as Strider tries to change it back with their Terror Surge, but that's just not gonna happen. Everything turning blue like a tsunami for LFO, as they are gonna take that fight and hold them on point number 3.
All things considered, if you're Pirates, with how that first point attack was going, I think you're going to take that. That's pretty good distance. That's pretty much kind of the area where most people get stopped on Kings Row. If they do get stopped, is like on that final ascent coming in to cap the point. So you put yourself in a position to tie this series up, because I feel like you go down 2-0, especially after being up 2-0 against Timeless and getting reverse swept. That would just not feel good at all. I mean, the mentals would not be great for Pirates, so I think it's imperative that they find some positive momentum and get this map win here.
Yeah, definitely. They've got to figure it out here and now. You do not want to go down 2-0 in an elimination game, but it could definitely happen. They can hold it here. They've got it far enough, right? I think is a good sign for Pirates and Pyjamas. Like you said, this could have been a full hold, and we're talking about a completely different map right now. Honestly, we could be done with this map in general if it was a full hold already. And interesting changes are coming in. I don't know if they stick with it, but yeah. Zira's currently on the Echo.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we saw the Echo come out in that series with LFO and Toronto, where Sugar Free was running it and getting a lot of value, because it's a lot of burst damage going onto this Orisa, who could be very tanky, very chunky to try and find the kills. So being able to get those sticky bombs and the focusing beam down is actually a very useful tool to engage and try and get the enemy Orisa down very early. So I kind of like it. I mean, you trade it for the ability to go after the backline on the Tracer, but if you get the Orisa down, you put yourself in a great spot.
I mean, you could still go for the backline if you are the Echo. It's just not as good as the Tracer. But right now, they are just kind of putting Pirates and Pyjama in with their backs against the wall, literally and figuratively at the moment. But that is just going to be changing back. They are going to rotate back to the point and try to hold on for now, because you really cannot give up this first point so quickly if you are Pirates and Pyjamas, and a pick on the mirror is going to be massive from Strider. But they do lose it out. Stone goes down, so it's still an even trade, but not an even in what's the word I'm looking for? In prowess? No, that's not it. But still, you're trying to understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, and Stone gets back fast on the Tracer anyway, so you take that trade. That is bad for Pirates. Seeker gets to pick on a Chronic, and now they're forced to use Kitsune Rush.
Yeah, they're forced to use the Kitsune Rush in this to try to hold on. They need to find a pick, though, or it's all for naught. But Seeker finds Strider from the back there with the secondary fire, with that rail shot. And now, yeah, this is all LFO, and they look to take this point here pretty quickly.
Shout out to LFO. I think the Echo pick for Zera is doing its magic. It's putting a lot of damage onto this field, and it feels like Strider's not able to be as aggressive as he wants time and time again because the threat of the Echo. And they didn't have to use a single ult to be able to get that point. Divinity had to use the Kitsune Rush to try and hold, so they're not going to have that tool. So getting past these archways that I talked about how important it is going to be that much easier with 5 ultimates at your disposal for LFO.
Yeah, they've got the 5 ultimates, and that should allow them to keep going forward. They've already used 2 of them here in this fight. Soundmare from Mateball is only going to catch 2, though, and that's just not what you wanted to see. You need to be able to hold on. Terra Surge coming in from Strider, trying to change the tide of this, but Chronic's already out of the fight, and the copy coming in onto the Kiriko from Zera just to hold everyone at bay, getting that healing, trying to build up a Kitsune Rush of their own, and they're going to be able to do so, but it might just not even be needed with all of the picks going for LFO.
I think the only consolation you take of your Pirates is you forced out a lot of the ultimates out of LFO. All they're going to have is that Terra Surge coming out of Mirror going up against Chronic's Overclock. So you put yourself in a good position if you're LFO, as your time bank is looking so much better than what Pirates is at, and they are looking good to try and go up 2-0 in the series at this point.
They really are. They really are. A nice hold, though, here on this close to the end of point 2 would be massive. And Chronic's going to start it off well. They've taken Zera out of the fight, and MCD goes down quickly afterwards. But the trades are going to be coming out, but still, it looks like Pip have the upper hand, especially with Stone taking Mirror out and Liar running for the fences.
Yeah, and now because Pip were able to take the advantage and hold the point there, they put themselves in such a stronger position. Now they can dictate where these fights are going to happen. They can, look for where LFO is looking to rotate, and they're going to have the ult advantage with both the Pulse Bomb and the Kitsune Rush coming online. So just when things were in LFO's favor in the blink of an eye, Pirates are now a little bit more favored on this point.
Yeah, definitely. They've got the upper hand thanks to that fight win, but you've got to be able to snowball this and keep it in your favor for these remaining 2 minutes, which is going to be difficult if they can't consistently get these opening picks, because they're still just waiting it out. They're buying time. They're going to get down to about 2 minutes maybe before this fight really breaks out here, Ray. But now there's the Kitsune Rush coming in from MCD, and Divinity matches them in kind, in spades, if you will. It's now, and Chronic finding Zera out. Terra Surge coming in from Strider, locking things up, locking down Liar, and taking hold of it yet again as Pirates and Pyjamas. As Seeker went for a fadeaway, but not going to be able to find anything.
Yeah, and the unfortunate part for LFO is you were really hoping to take more of a drier fight and force more ultimates out of Pirates, but all you did was trade Kitsunes and force out Terra Surge. So Pirates still have a lot of tools to be able to defend here. Just over a minute left on the clock. We're looking at 1, maybe 2 more cracks at the barrel if you're LFO. Seeker's the one I'm looking at, has this overclock online and can make something happen.
And Divinity finding Liar out is massive. Liar's going to have the sound barrier, but not for this fight, especially if the LFO does just backtrack here. But they are going to still try to hold it out, try to fight it out. But if they lose on one of their players here, it's going to be huge. Sound barrier invested there late. That's massive, but Mirror's going to go down. The Pulse Bomb was stuck, found its mark. And now Pirates and Pyjamas are in the driver's seat yet again, and LFO are on the back foot. Down to 35 seconds. Things are looking disastrous. They've only have the Terra Surge. They've got the overclock, but can they hold on to Pirates? Can they take on Pirates and Pyjamas now?
As we see Zera making a swap over to the Genji, who was on the Echo, then the Tracer. I'm not sure about this Genji swap. I mean, Genji's good at finishing off kills. Maybe they feel like that's the big problem they're having right now, is getting people low, not finishing off the kills. I don't think that's the case. So many ultimates for Pirates, however.
It really is going to be the name of the game. Who can find a pick early and on? The sound barrier has come in from Magic and Mateball. Terra Surge is there, and Zera finds Chronic. This is huge for LFO. The Terra Surge, though, from Strider finds 2 as well. Still, kill. It's traded back. Strider is down. There's no tanks on the board. Who can find the pick? It's the Genji. It's the Tracer. Who's gonna find a pick for their team? And everyone's going low. The trades just keep coming back. No Kirikos are on the board. The Pulse Bomb stick comes through. Stone might have just solidified everything for Pirates and Pyjamas. Stone finds another one. Stone looking for more, but Mirror on the Doomfist has found out Mateball. Mirror might be able to hold on. No, they do not. Pirates in Pyjamas take map number 2. We're all tied up.
Absolutely insane. I talked about how important it was going to be for these Pirates to be able to take the victory here on Kings Row, get some momentum in their favor after dropping that series against Timeless and then dropping the first map against LFO. They are able to come into Kings Row, take this series 1-1, heading into map number 3 and winning that fight as LFO had some ults coming in, rounding the corner for point B to finish, for them to be able to find that kill. Divinity on that Kiriko was doing an incredible job time and time again of spy checking Zera on that Tracer, who kept trying to come on that flank from the alleyway, and they just kept throwing kunais, kept hitting kunais, kept healing their team, and it was just basically not allowing Zera to get anything done.
And the massive things were, I mean, I think that pick onto Liar in that those late fights, that the late fight about a minute left, and then they get back and they force out the beat, and then they still lose the fight, was just where everything ended for them, I would have to say, because well, we saw Mateball had their own sound barrier for that last fight. They used it to engage, but it still gave them that overhealth to that aggressive team that wants to find that first pick, and that's what we're seeing. That's 95% of the time who gets that, and those are stats that I just make up. 95% of the time, these teams that get these first picks are usually winning these fights.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. I do agree that you mentioned that pick onto Liar. I felt like it threw everything off. LFO had to complete. I mean, they ended up engaging into that fight anyway, hoping to try and flip it. They're not able to win it, and then they put themselves at quite the disadvantage ult economy wise coming into that final fight. But Pirates, man, after what happened on that first point attack, it not going so well, for them to get the momentum going on point B and point C, and then to come up with the good
Terror Surge too.
on that final point B there was just amazing. It feels like they just are eating pressure for breakfast, and look at that, man, ridiculous. Look at that comparison. I mean, these teams look dead even. That's how close the series is.
It's just great all around. I mean, the one thing you're looking at a little bit of difference is Stone and Zero, who have been playing the Tracer.
I mean,
mostly, but
I mean, Joker, look at that. Magic Mateball and Liar, that's a big difference on the healing side, however.
Yeah.
That's 5,000 healing difference.
Yeah, that's huge.
He was still keeping up with Liar on damage too. So
yeah, no, that's just crazy. I mean, I think that's the real difference. I mean, it has to be the difference that we're seeing in this. They were able to stay in longer because Mateball was able to get more healing for their team.
I don't even know if you noticed in that final scrappy fight, I'm watching Magic Mateball as an assassin on Lucio, going after some of those backline. He was playing absolutely ridiculous. So, I mean, just looking at those stats, it feels like Magic Mateball's making a huge difference. It was slightly less damage, but in exchange for 5,000 more heals, I feel like if you're Pirates, if you can continue that trend into the next few maps, that's your way back into the series and fighting your way through the lower bracket.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. You'll take a little bit less damage if you're getting 5,000 more healing. That's just insane to me. I mean, we'll see if they can that trend continues. We are heading into push. And speaking of push, they finally did it. They're finally doing it right. They're finally removing the glass on Coliseo, but not until season 11 apparently. So I don't know.
I mean, that's fine. We're going to be getting a lot of map reworks. So that's going to be awesome. But as you can see on the screen, Esperanza is going to be that next map pick, which once again, I believe this is LFO's map pick. So we're in a situation where we saw them against Toronto Defiant. This is actually the one map they were able to take off Toronto was on Esperanza. So If I'm Pirates, I'm a little bit worried. This is where LFO found their stride against Toronto, took a map off them, and then pushed them to the edge on map number 4.
And I'm trying to confirm this. I don't know if I'm right, but I think the match on the mainstream has finished. I'm not sure. I believe Students of the Game has beaten Shikigami. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. That could be something to look for in the next couple of moments there on the mainstream. But right now we're talking about this match. We're talking about Esperanza, and right now nothing really out of the ordinary coming in from these two teams.
No, I think we're going to continue. I mean, with how close this series has been, and I mean, we get a mirror DC, unfortunate. So that's going to take a minute. And yeah, we can confirm Students of the Game did take that match on the mainstream against Shikigami 3-0. So they keep their lower bracket lives alive. And they'll be moving on to the winners matchup between Luminosity and Luminosity and M80. That's going to be a banger of a match.
Wait, who has lobby control though? I'm so confused.
I am very confused. So how do you feel, Joker, about some of those maps that they talked about in the developer update that they're going to be looking to rework after season 12? I don't know if you need the list. I know the maps they said.
I'm so I'm just at a loss for words. What is going on?
I mean, I'm sure we'll figure that out soon enough. Feels like they got to get everyone in here and reset the lobby. I mean, it is what it is at this point, but so they did mention in that developer update that they will be looking to update Dorado, Havana, Numbani, Circuit Royale. So I'm very excited for some of those maps to be reworked.
Yeah, I am as well. It's been a long time. A lot of these maps need to be reimagined for Overwatch 2.
I'm a residential Numbani hater, so I'd love to see them try and refix it and try and make me like it more.
You know what? Don't worry about that. When are we getting back Paris? That's the real question on everyone's mind. That's the real question on everyone's mind. When are we getting when are we getting Horizon Lunar Colony back? When are we getting Paris back?
I'm not sure if this is what's going to happen, but there's a theory out there that people say that Clash is basically going to be used to rework all of the 2CP maps back into the game, like how they're having Hanaoka as the first map that we can play test in Season 10. So maybe they have like a reworked Paris for Clash, and they do that for HLC Anubis, Hanamura. Hanaoka already, and then Volskaya. So we'll have to see. As you can see, we're paused trying to figure out what exactly is going on in that lobby. We will get you guys into the match as soon as we're able to resolve everything.
Yeah, definitely. We saw there the server restarted, I believe, or something along those lines, and then we'll get a restart of the map, because now it would have just been fun if because Pip just kind of was at an advantage fully, and that wouldn't be really fair for either of these two teams.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of silliness. I mean, well, I'm sure we'll figure things out to get things going, as this has been quite a series 1-1. If any of you guys haven't been here for the entirety of the match, first map did go LFO's favor 2-0 on Samoa, but both points went down to 99-99. It was incredibly close. And then we came into Kings Row. Pirates struggled on point A, but finally broke through, and they built some momentum and were able to get it to that final alleyway on point C. And then they were able to hold on point B defensively and came up with the goods, tied up the series, and Esperanza is our third map.
Yeah, Esperanza is the map of choice here on for our push game mode. And let's see here. Hopefully everyone's in lobby. They should be now, and we'll see if we'll see how this goes, because again, that's just huge momentum on whoever can win this next map, or this map here.
Couldn't agree more. As I mean, we saw from the sneak peeks that both teams are looking to continue to play the Orisa, which is no surprise here. It's what the meta is kind of dictating right now. I mean, like I mentioned, we have seen some deviation away from the Orisa, but I feel like it's map dependent and very situational depending on how teams are playing and kind of just the matchups against the teams. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna get, again, full on mirrors. The series has been so close. There's no reason for either of these teams to try and do something cheeky or try and get an edge somewhere, because it's just very competitive.
Yeah, yeah, obviously you're not gonna be able to say anything, you're not gonna be able to see any really deviation unless things get out of hand in one of or the other team's favor. As Pirates and Pyjamas are already pushing this objective pretty, being quite aggressive, pushing back LFO for the time being. As Mirror is already under half HP, and Strider's going to be able to take down MCD, and Mirror goes down quickly afterwards. Chronic looking for another pick, but it's all Strider and Stone.
And I'm a huge fan of that aggression that Pirates took. I mean, LFO got initial control, the bot got 6 meters, but you forced out Suzu so early that you're able to find the picks. That's how you need to play this if you're Pirates. Don't let LFO take their angles, take their space, take their positioning. Go after them and force the issue, force those cooldowns, and you're going to find success more times than not.
Yeah, definitely. As now, LFO's already engaged back again, but Mirror is so low right now. They just need to keep their Orisa up. It's just not what you need to, or this is just not going to be good at all, as the Pulse Bomb is going to come out and Zero's going to be able to take down Chronic, and now this is the perfect chance for LFO to get back into the favor of the bot and get these picks keep going their way and get some momentum really into their favor with Divinity going down there.
I mean, it was well played. I mean, again, Mirror's just playing on the edge. Every fight, it seems like they get so low, and it forces a lot of cooldowns out of LFO. That time, Pirates were not able to take advantage, and Chronic goes down early in that fight. Not exactly what you wanted, is Seeker is taking an absolute lead in this ult charge coming up to these overclocks, as both teams have a lot to invest in this next fight if they so choose to do so in this next fight.
Is now, LFO still not being able to overtake the percentage at the moment, the meterage at the moment, but now with the pick on the Stone, the Kitsune rushes have been invested, but it looks like LFO have the opportunity to, well, get some more and more progress, especially with the Terror Surge. Find and 2 from Mirror. Strider tried to turn it back, but no one was in their range, as that is just going to be that. LFO keep things moving their way.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that Terror Surge was just kind of a hope and a prayer and kind of a big mistake, hoping you had that for the next fight. And I mean, you basically traded 2 for 2. That is not what you wanted in a losing fight like that for Pirates and Pyjamas. And now you're getting this point where they're probably going to be capping this point. Okay, they do get the touch just in time from Stone.
Yeah, they get the touch just in time, and now the bot moving a little bit back into their favor, but that's just not going to really matter for the moment. But still, now with the overclock coming in from Seeker, really looking to do damage. Divinity's going to get caught out there by Liar in the long run, and Seeker just going for hunting for heads as Chronic goes down, now looking for Mate Ball as well, but they're not going to be able to find him, but they do find the forward spawns.
Yeah, getting that point cap is big for these teams. I mean, now if you're Pirates, if you ever need to get any kind of progress, you're going to have to win back-to-back fights. They do have the ults to be able to do that, as LFO used a lot to be able to get this cap, which I can't blame them. But now Pirates have a position where if they use these ults judiciously, they can start getting this progress and look to match and possibly get the forward spawns themselves.
Yeah, they've got to be able to get something going if you are Pirates and Pyjamas. Like you said, they can't afford to get things out of hand, as Chronic is just going to go wild there. Fine and 2 for them. Now 3 for Pirates and Pyjamas. And the team kill going to come through the perfect time, but now they're going to have to win another fight right off the back of it.
Yes, but you're able to win that first fight with only using the overclock. So now you put yourself in a position you're going to have 3 ults to use, and Liar and MCD. I mean, you're going to have support ults, but that's all you're working with. As I like what Chronic's doing, taking control of this bridge, not allowing LFO to take it so easily.
Yeah, you've got to be able to keep that bridge away from LFO for a staging ground for that fight. Because right now, neither of these two teams really have control, but now the Kitsune Rush coming in from MCD on the bridge. But then it's just going to be a juke and jive around underneath and taking that Kitsune Rush out of the board. But, well, in the end, Zero just going to go, well, hog wild. Yeah, again, find 3 with this Tracer. Again, these Tracers just have been menaces for the opposition, as that's going to be 4 or 0.
Yeah, and then, I mean, you were in a losing fight already. I mean, Stone throws in the pulse bomb, finds 1, but they're not able to flip it, so that's 1 less ult you're going to have. I feel like that's been one issue we've seen when Pirates do lose these maps, is they commit ults in losing efforts that they probably shouldn't, and should have just held on to for the next team fight, as they do get control of the bot and don't allow the forward spawns to come out for LFO, which is pretty big.
It is huge. That is huge indeed, but now they've got to win the fight, and the Kitsune Rush is a perfect way to start it off. Going to be able to run in on the opposition. Sound Barrier, though, going to be coming in, but MCD not going to be able to get any use of it, and now Mirror is so low. Going to try to turn it around, but the Terror Surge is not enough to stave off anything. His Stone is found 2, and that is going to be that. Pirates in Pyjamas are going back in their favor, and now they can push the bot a little bit more forward.
As that's the kind of fight you needed if you're Pirates. Get that Sound Barrier and that Terror Surge in exchange for yours, and now you get in a position where you're likely going to cap this point. I mean, LFO might look to make one more chance at it. They have both their DPS ultimates to be able to commit, but Magic 8 Ball has the Sound Barrier to deal with a lot of these incoming ults.
And the Sound Barrier is going to have to be massive from 8 Ball, but it's only going to find 4, but that could be enough. But Seeker has the overclock, but they're just kind of disengaging, just waiting it out. Not going to allow them to get picked off early on, and that's just a huge big brain play for Pirates in Pyjamas, as now they have their overclock. They have their Pulse Bomb as well. Can they find a little bit more value, though, than what we saw from Seeker? As now Zero also having their Pulse Bomb. They're forcing the recall out, though, so there's still not a real good opportunity to go in for either of these two teams. MCD gonna have their Kitsune Rush, but not for this fight. Stone comes in with a Pulse Bomb kill, and Chronic using their overclock to their advantage, and that is going to be that. And maybe Pirates in Pyjamas overtakes LFO.
They won't overtake the lead on this fight. It's going to take one more fight with the butt scratch mode coming in, but getting to matching the forward spawns is big for the rest of the series. 2.5 minutes left. LFO is going to have 2 ultimates to be able to commit into this fight, so Zera's got to find something with his pulse, but doesn't.
Yeah, they don't find anything with a Pulse Bomb is not good, but the Kitsune Rush is now going to be going in, and Chronic going down. Zero does not need the Pulse Bomb again just to find 2 picks, as that is, they're looking for a third here, but an MCD is going to be able to take down Divinity. There's the third pick that Zero was looking for, as LFO gets it back and still have the bot in their favor.
However, these forward spawns still online. I mean, Strider's not going to be able to get it, but pretty much the rest of the team was able to get it, and they'll be able to recommit with the Kitsune Rush of their own. But Liar has this Sound Barrier, and I think that's going to be the difference in this next fight. Pirates have to find a way to force this out.
They really do. They need to get the Sound Barrier away from Liar, but the Kitsune Rush is coming in. Terra Surge is there as well. There's the Sound Barrier, but a little bit later comes in Mate Balls, and MCD has been taken care of. That should be Pirates in Pyjamas holding on and keeping things going their way, but they still need to overtake LFO.
Yeah, it's going, as I mentioned, because of these forward spawns, it will take one more fight. If they're able to win this, however, they should be able to take the lead. They're going to have the Pulse Bomb and the Terror Surge to be able to work with, but I mean, Zera didn't come through with the goods on last Pulse Bomb, but we know how good he's been this entire series. Has another one to be able to work with, and Seeker will get this overclock online before Chronic does.
Yeah, as is something you gotta look forward, look for with those overclocks. We've seen been devastating for either of these two Sojourns throughout the series, but I'm still looking for Stone yet again. With the pulse bomb, not gonna be able to find anything this time. Zera has the pulse bomb of their own. They're looking for the back, looking for someone, but are they gonna need it? No. Mate Ball's down, and Seeker's found Chronic again. They do take Seeker down, but it might just be a little too late. But the pulse bomb is out. Strider goes down. Stone is still there, but they need to be able to take Zera out of this fight, and that's just not gonna happen. 15 seconds to go here, Ray, and well, they're just gonna just set up and just try to hold.
Yeah, they're just doing the smart thing and not touching the bot, but Magic 8 Ball's going to be able to touch the point and keep it alive. Oh, man, this is looking really interesting. Pirates have the ult advantage as LFO threw a lot what they had. MCD has to get this Kitsune Rush online.
You got to be able to stay on the point here. That's the main thing if you are Pirates and Pyjamas, because like you said, they have the advantage at the moment. And if they can find MCD out before they get this Kitsune Rush online, and Chronic finding the shot. Zera blinked right into the crosshairs of the Sojourn, and now Seeker's Dawn as well. Liar goes quickly afterwards. And now things are looking better and better for Pirates in Pyjamas, as they didn't get the forward spawns either. This is gonna be last fight territory. Is someone gonna be able to touch here, Ray? This is all on the board. Can they get there in the end? They're pushing forward. 73, 74, 75. They're gonna be able to touch. Zera gets there. Kitsune Rush gonna be invested, but Chronic's already found Liar, who almost had the sound barrier available. This is huge. Pirates and Pyjamas just need to stave off the Terra Surge. This pulse bomb coming in from Stone, and they've done it. Pirates and Pyjamas take the map and go up 2-1 in the series.
That felt like the story of the tortoise and the hare. Slower sometimes wins the race, man. And Pirates and the Pyjamas, they just played that patiently. LFO was off to a huge lead, but they never gave up. They knew they had their win condition. They just kept fighting. And oh man, that shot of Zera blinking in at Chronic and getting that headshot. Oh, that pretty much to me, I'm like, okay, I think Pirates got this. Like they have the ults. They didn't have, because they got that early pick. Chronic doesn't have to pop the overclock here, and that was just such a big play coming through.
Again, and I think again the pick onto Liar. Liar was 9% away from sound barrier. We don't know. That could have just changed everything if they had the opportunity to pop the sound barrier in that fight, to get that sustain, get that overhealth. But again, it's just not possible because they focused down a major win con for LFO.
Yeah, I mean, again, these matches have all just come down to the wire. It has been absolutely ridiculous how close these matches have been. And I believe this next map that's coming into play was Pirates' pick. So you got to be feeling really good if you're Pirates. The momentum's in your favor. But you were in this same situation against Timeless. You have to be able to close out this series.
Looks like it was LFO's choice, if I'm not mistaken. They picked New Junk City, and because banned Saravasa, so whatever. So interesting. I like this for thematic reasons. It feels like Pirates and Pyjamas were destined to win on New Junk City if this is to be the case, just because it feels like where Pirates would live. You know, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. And taking a look at these stats once again. So again, the healing when it came to these Lucios ended up being pretty much even. I mean, you get almost a 2,000 advantage for Magic 8 Ball, but I think overall between Divinity and Magic 8 Ball, they're just taking the advantage in the healing, and that's been the big difference in the series.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely have to agree with you there. But we'll see here. I mean, and then everything else is just so similar.
Yeah, exactly.
Strider, though, has been a force to be reckoned with. I mean, this has just been a very, very good round of, or good series of Overwatch. for Strider. I mean, they've consistently been in the kill feed, consistently finding these picks that really turn fights into the favor of Pirates and Pyjamas, and if they can continue to do that on New Junk City, I think we're seeing a reality where Pirates and Pyjama knock out LFO.
Yeah, and this is deja vu for LFO because this is where their previous series against Toronto ended. It was a 5-point banger, and Toronto was able to get the edge and knock them to the lower bracket. So LFO is now facing elimination as they have to win these next 2 maps to keep their lower bracket run alive. So let's see how these players are going to do, knowing that, I mean, last time, like I mentioned, they really brought it to Toronto when that was the case. Will they be able to keep doing that? And, you know, these maps have just been so close, so it's not like you could be like, oh, Pirates have kind of been running this, it's going to be tough for LFO. No, these have been so close. It would not surprise me if LFO is able to ring off 2 maps in a row.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. They have the prowess to do so, but do they have the mentals? As right now, they're at the breaking point. They cannot afford to lose this map, or they're out of the main event. And now, and they're gonna have to try in stage 2 to get that qualification for Dallas, which, by the way, myself and Ray will be there as spectators. So say hi if you see us. But oh my goodness, Chronic has already found Zira out. That's just a shot. Nice way during the arena. As Pirates and Pyjamas are able to capitalize and take the first control of the flashpoint.
Yeah, Chronic is, listen, he's like, I'm not letting my team lose 2 maps in a row like we did against Timeless. It is time for us to come through with the big plays and close out this series, but Seeker fires back and finds Chronic.
Yeah, they were able to find out Chronic, which is going to be good, and now it's going to allow LFO to take the point here, and now Divinity falling down, that's just going to allow it to stay in the favor of LFO for even longer, as Zira finding these last couple of straggle kills.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. If I was Pirates, I would have just continued to fight for that point and get as much percentage. With how fast these percentage ticks up on, you know, on Flashpoint like this, I feel like that's more value, especially when you were already down 1 in the fight. It was unlikely you were going to be able to turn that fight.
Yeah, as now they've got to be able to come back into this. Here, Reyes, Chronic is so low though. Zero almost finding that pick would have been huge, but there's the pulse bomb out. Soundbeer has come through, but MCD is taken down to the javelin of Strider. Again, that first pick coming in from the tank player of Pip is just huge, and another one comes in from Strider, taking Mirror out. And the Soundbeer was invested late there by Lyre to try to stabilize, but it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's a dagger to use that sound barrier in that fight like that. And Pirates only used sound barrier to be able to take that. So that was 3 for 1. And now Pirates, it's going to take maybe one. Yeah, with how fast this is taking up, 1 final fight. And you have so much advantage in this next fight. You just cannot allow Seeker to find some opening picks with this overclock. That's like your 1 lose condition if you're Pirates.
Yeah, you can't afford that, especially with the ultimate advantage that you have right now if you're Pirates and Pyjamas. Overclock is going to come in from Seeker, and well, there it is. There's the pick coming in with the help of Zira. The Seeker is looking for, oh my, 360 no scope coming in onto Stone as well. Then that point is going to flip over. MCD popping the Kitsune Rush. They aren't really able to find the picks, but now Strider goes down and the point goes the way of LFO.
Yes, that is Seeker doing Seeker things, and Zara being able to follow up on all the damage Seeker was throwing down. So very well engaged by LFO, but I think, again, that's just a statement on Pirates and Pyjamas. I don't know why you wouldn't get aggressive and bring the fight to LFO and not allow Seeker to be able to take an angle like that. As we now move to the next point, which it looks like it's going to be Junkyard. The good thing is Pirates and Pyjamas are going to be able to take a nice little defensive setup on this point, and Chronic has the overclock to be able to use.
Big overclock is going to be huge, especially because you're going to have to step into these sight lines to touch the point, and that's going to be allow the overclock to be invested and find good value, hopefully. But now they just scattered it around, not being able to, just waiting it out, and well, the overclock doesn't find the kills you were hoping for. Terra Surge comes in from both of the Orissas, but Strider has found that advantage yet again for Pirates in Pyjamas as they're going to be pushing back LFO here, but Strider's so low. The sound mirror comes on at the perfect time from Magic Mateball to keep everyone up and healthy and keep the fight going their way.
As that was a disastrous fight for LFO. They let Pirates get the early cap, and they continued to take this staggered 4v5 fight, thinking they could try and turn this, but that is just so much percentage gain for Pirates. So really, they only have to get one more fight win here, and they're going to be able to match ults. It's really going to be Kitsune Rush for Kitsune Rush, and Stone will be able to get the Pulse Bomb here, and huge advantage to Pirates.
Yeah, that's going to be huge if Stone can land this Pulse Bomb, and well, just take, probably just take this this flashpoint here. But the Kitsune Rush coming in from MCD is huge as well. It's gotten people so low and forced them away from point, and now they can have their progress ticking up into the favor of LFO. But now with Divinity popping their own Kitsune Rush back, it's going to put LFO on the back foot. Sound Barrier invested. Mateball does not have one anywhere close, but Mirror has gone down yet again here, so it's still a decent trade if you'll take it, but you still got to be able to hold on. The overclock back on board from Seeker, and they're looking for these shots. Divinity running for cover. Stone has taken down Zera, but still Seeker finds another pick, but it might just be enough for Pirates and Pyjamas to hold on, because Strider just keeps finding these picks for Pirates in Pyjamas, and MCD going down. The overtime bar ticks away, and Junkyard goes to Pirates in Pyjamas.
Again, I think that just came down to LFO allowing an early cap from Pirates and then continuing to take that 4v5 staggered fight, and they were just never able to recover from that. However, as we now move to, I believe that's Ducks for the next fight, Zera has the Pulse Bomb to be able to commit, but Pirates, they didn't really have to use much because of the big advantage they had. They're coming in with 4 ults to commit to this next fight, so this is dangerous territory if you're LFO.
It really is, but Chronic's so low, and Maple goes down and out. It's huge. Terra Surge invested by Mirror, and it's going to help them find Stone and Chronic, but the trades just keep coming back and forth. It's Strider continuously in the kill feed for Pirates in Pyjamas is just huge. I know I keep singing the praise, but it's just so much playmaking from this tank player. It's just been incredible. Another pick comes their way. The Kitsune Rushes come out. Right now it's anyone's point, but it looks like Pirates and Pyjamas have the numbers to stabilize and take on the Ducks.
To me, and that's the big difference, Joker. We saw on the previous point, LFO gave the point up. Pirates said no. If we're going to lose this fight, we're at least going down swinging on this point and getting a full reset. And because of that, they're able to use the ultimates they had, and they're able to win the fight at the end. And now they're going to have a sound barrier for this incoming Seeker overclock. So, and now they have complete control of this high ground as well. So they're looking really good.
Yeah, as now, they have the opportunity. Maple has the sound barrier here, but could all change with a nice play coming in from Seeker, who's about to pull up their overclock, but that's going to be invested. There's the sound barrier coming in, but Stone was not able to get that over health. The Terra Surge is going to come through and find Seeker out, and another pick comes in the way, but Strider goes down. Now that reliable front line is no longer there for Pirates and Pyjamas. Can they hold on? Can they stabilize? As Mirror finds Chronic out with the help of MCD, as everything's looking better and better for LFO, as Zera now has the space to work with.
Yeah, as they're now in a very strong position. They're going to have the 4 ultimates to be able to commit. Pirates have some to come back with, so you're relying pretty heavily on a big Pulse Bomb coming out from Stone to try and set something up here. But I mean, I think Strider on this Orisa has just been playing so well on this map, definitely getting the better end of Mirror time and time again. So I think they need to continue to ride the back of Strider on this map.
Dragados, Kitsune Rush coming in from both of the Kirikos, but Chronic going down early on. Now what you wanted to see here, but they've got to be able to find more. Is the Pulse Bomb. There's a huge Suzu coming in from MCD. The stick was there from Stone. There's the Terra Surge in. Mirrors found Mate Ball, and MCD just clicking heads with the Kunai, as that is going to be LFO holding on and maybe taking Ducks.
Yeah, this is the big question. Are Pirates going to look to try and touch or just set up on the next point? It looks like I don't think they're going to be able to. It looks like they might look. No, they're not.
They thought about it. Wasn't going to get there in the end.
Yeah, I definitely saw Magic Mate Ball with that speed boost, definitely thinking about it, but I think they decided to do the right thing, which is like, okay, let's just head to bomb flats. Let's go set up defensively. We're going to be able to get there first because of our spawns are closer. I think ultimately it was the right decision for Pirates. Strider being able to hold here on this high ground with his team and set things up is going to be a nice tool coming into this first fight on bomb flats.
It really is. Now we're seeing the rotate around from Chronic, who has their overclock available, and Strider's able to take down Seeker here with the help of their javelin throw. As now they might not even need to use this overclock to hold on, especially going and finding Mirror out, and they're not going to need it, as this is just a lost fight for LFO with all the picks going the way. A nice exit kill though from MCD on the Stone.
Man, Strider has really, not that he hadn't been doing great on the other maps, but this map in particular has looked extremely strong and is absolutely dominating in this Orisa duel. Basically won Pirates that fight and said, look, I'm just going to win this fight for us. We don't even have to commit ults. This is all on me, and he is coming through for his team when it matters.
There's just been a force to be reckoned with. And, well, speaking of forces, there's the overclock coming in from both of the Sojourns. The Pulse Bomb was stuck on to Chronic, but it was cleansed away. And, well, what's not cleansed away is all the damage coming in as Pip holds on yet again.
Yeah, as Pip doing a great job in the ult economy. That was one of the things I did criticize them early in this series, but once again, they trade 2 for 2. You're going to take that time and time again as you're looking to defend here. Now they're just going to hold aggressively and not even allow LFO to get the touch.
MCD does find out Stone here, and Chronic takes down Seeker, but like you said, there is going to be a chance of a touch, and the flip might come in as well, as they do get there in late. And now the Kitsune Rush comes in. You've got to get the healing on to your team. They've got Strider out. The Terra Surge coming in from Mirror is there as well. They take down Mirror. There's still an opportunity for Pip to hold on, but Zero comes in with a smack to the dome, taking Divinity out. Might allow LFO to live another day and have a chance to finish it out here.
Yeah, however, Mirror is very staggered from the team, so Pirates have an opportunity here. Now that I say that they're in spawn swapping, I'm not so sure anymore. Liar's going to have the sound barrier advantage coming into this fight, so I feel like if you're Pirates, you need to come in here and take a quick fight so you get an opportunity to take another fight if it comes down to it.
Meatball going down is not good at all here. As now, this is just going to be a quick fight. You've got to get out if you are Pirates and Pyjamas. Seeker needs to, Strider needs to go down. They're just wasting time. What are they doing? I don't know. They might just have thrown it. That's just not good. Not good at all.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be able to touch it. I think that might just be the map. It's very unfortunate for Pirates and Pyjamas. Strider's going to go over the Winston, but it's not okay. You do get a touch coming in, but again, is it going to be enough? Can you get these recontests and actually find some picks?
And Stone going down is not what you wanted to see. Soundbeer comes in from Liar, catches all 5, and that might just be the end of it all. With this Pulse Bomb out, and there it is, all red in the kill feed as LFO tie it up, headed to a map number 5.
As Pirates, man, this feels so eerily similar to what happened to them in the previous series. They were up 2-1 on Timeless, and Timeless rattles off the last 2 maps and sends them to the lower bracket as LFO is able to cure their New Junk City woes that they had losing to Toronto, take this map in a pretty dominating fashion, and now it's all going to come down to the map number 5. And for what we saw, it is Shambali, and this is deja vu for Pirates because this is where it ended it for them in their upper bracket run against Timeless.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, these plays, oh my goodness, everything has just been so good from every player on these teams so far, as the replays are just gonna show you here.
I just felt like I needed to take a breath there. This series has just been, I mean, you know, breathtaking. I just feel like I'm exhausted. Like, it's just been a slugfest time and time again. Like, you know, sometimes you watch a series and, like, you know, like we're in a dive competition, right? And it just feels extremely like clinical and like it just is clean. This has just been like 2 teams banging their heads at it, almost like, you know, you're in the trenches in a football game. Like, they're just going at it, and it's just been a beauty to see.
It really has. It really has indeed. And look at that healing output just coming in yet again from Pip supports. I mean, it's just 3,000 more from Divinity than MCD.
But look at that, Zera versus Stone.
Yeah.
That's the killer there. Zera had a huge advantage in the Tracer duel on that map.
100%. And I think that we've been seeing that Stone has been trying to keep up, but Zera has just been so dominant on this Tracer role throughout the series that it's kind of hard to keep up right now.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about how Zera was one of my favorite contenders, tier 2 players, up and coming, and he's been putting on a show in this series. And I mean, it's all going to come down to this final map. These teams backs against the walls, both teams facing elimination in this stage number 1. As we talked about it, it's all coming down to Shambali Monastery.
Yeah, Shambali going to be the choice of battlefield here yet again. A very drastic difference between New Junk City and Shambali, solely, not even just because it's a different map type, just very different climates, right? And that's more where I'm at right now with the frigid cold. We're going back into this with the snow, with everything, and again, I mean, I don't know how it's gonna work for him, but right now, LFO has all the momentum in their favor. Pip has to dig deep, and AR need to be able to dig, like I said, dig deep and come back and not face the same results as their last map on Shambali.
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of looking at 2 different angles coming into this. It's like, LFO, you're favored. You have the Owl talent on your team to back up everything, and you're in a situation where you're facing elimination against some up-and-comers coming out of contenders. So you got to try and just cure those demons. But on the side of Pip, it's the same thing. They have their own demons. They were up in their series against Timeless. It all comes down to Shambali, and they got first point held against Timeless in their previous series. We're gonna need to see more out of them, and they need to cure their demons, as both teams are just fighting to keep their lower bracket run alive.
Yeah, both of them are fighting. They're hoping to stay alive, like you said, keep going in their tournament to get those circuit points. You want them as the most you can possibly get, and then unfortunately, if you're out this early, you're only getting 15, and it's just not something you really want here.
Just a quick update for you guys. The mainstream did end up doing Toronto versus Timeless instead of Luminosity versus M80. It is currently 1-0 Toronto. So that's how that series is going as we look to close out this series in a map 5 banger.
Yeah, I believe the M80 versus Luminosity will be tomorrow. Yes. That is when we'll see that matchup, which I'm quite excited for. If I do say so myself. And right now, LFO on the defense, does that favor them here to set their, they can set everything. They can set their win con here and now with a good defense.
I agree, and once again, Pirates had the first attack against Timeless in their previous series, and they got first point held, so this is their opportunity to make right what went wrong in that map 5 in the previous series and try and bring this home and show that when their backs are against the walls, when, you know, the pressure mounts, that they're able to eat it for breakfast and take the dub.
We'll see here. Divinity. Okay, never mind. I was about to say, interesting choice coming in with the Zenyatta, but it was only for a moment. And back over to the Kiriko, which is the standard, obviously, which we've seen the entire series so far. As right now, Seeker looking for a shot, but also getting shot at, which you tend to do while you're playing Overwatch. But hey, that's a nice shot coming in from Seeker there to really help. LFO start their defensive hold here as Pirates and Pyjamas are going to rotate back.
Yeah, but losing your Tracer's not as big of a deal. Your spawns are right there. I mean, you lose maybe 10 seconds. So, again, this high ground position, you got to take this away if you're Pirates. That has to be, like, checklist number 1 is take this high ground away, and they're trying to do that right now.
They really are. It's a nice engage coming in from Magic 8-Ball with a speed boost on to LFO, but they need to be able to find the pick. Mirror is low. They are getting the heal. They are getting healed up. However, they are still just pushed. They pushed LFO back, and they're getting nice progress now.
Yeah, this is good positioning, and now they can. Oh, I was gonna say Divinity can get under that high ground and avoid Seeker, but Seeker finds blood before Divinity's able to do that.
Yeah, finding the shot and making Pirates and Pyjamas fully reset yet again is Seeker with the shots coming in. Is Strider going down low, gonna have to hold out for a moment yet again.
Yeah, and the problem for Pirates is where these, I mean, it doesn't look like LFO is going to look to hold the high ground, but these fights take time to be able to get yourself in the right position to be able to win the fight. So half your time's already off the clock, and you haven't even hit the hard point when you round the final corner on this point yet.
Especially with LFO having just such a good ultimate advantage at the moment. Tsune Rush is coming in, and Zero finding Chronic is massive yet again. Pirates and Pyjamas could find a pick that would be huge, but they're just not going to. Terra Surge invested there from Mirror, and a lot of ults were invested there though from LFO, but Pip need to find something quickly.
Yeah, you'll take that. That's a 3-for-1 exchange. So Pip's going to have a decisive advantage coming this next fight, but it's going to take 2 more clean team fight wins to be able to pull this together. So you're going to have to hope in this next fight you get both the overclock and the sound barrier out, and, you know, try and only use 2 ultimates of yourself and save you some to win the next fight and get this point across the finish line.
You got to be able to find it here and now, because then you're running on fumes. You're running low. LFO Seekers on the back, looking for those shots. Isn't Mateball's able to take down MCD, but no Kirikos are on the board. But Mira's over-invested, over-aggressed, and goes down. But still, the trades just keep coming back and forth. They need to take Zero out, but Liar takes down Stone. It's just Strider left on the point, and there's only 45 seconds left to go. And that was the perfect chance for them to do so, but they can't take the advantage.
Yeah, with the players coming back, however, that's going to force both the players of LFO back. So now you put yourself in an opportunity. Pulse Bomb v Pulse Bomb. Who's going to win this battle?
Could also be the tale of who can land a Suzu to stave that person who gets stuck up. As now Stone goes in, Pulse Bomb's out, not gonna find anyone. However, Zero has an opportunity to end it all with a Pulse Bomb or just a kill in general. And there it is, Chronic is down, Stone is down, Zero, the playmaker yet again for LFO, and that is just going to be it. And there, all the hopes and dreams are crumbling down around Pirates and Pyjamas as they can only make it 84 meters.
And that was so well played by Zera. Had the pulse bomb, held onto it, put enough pressure onto everyone on the side of Pirates and Pyjamas that they forced out Divinity Suzu, so that you're able to pulse for free and you know you're going to get a kill there. So that was just great patience coming out of Zera. And now you're in a very strong position. They didn't even round the corner.
Yeah.
They're at the spot just before it. This is just feeling eerily similar to the game against Pyjamas. This is pretty much the same spot they got. Question is, can they do the fuller hold, or will LFO punch their ticket into the next round of the losers bracket?
It's looking really rough right now for him, Ray, but it could all change. We could sing the tunes of Pirates in Pyjamas if they can get the hold, the sea shanties, if you will, here in celebration. But LFO have all the momentum in their favor right now.
That they do. Can Pirates play Pirates and basically go on a rampage and steal the momentum back and, get away on their boats and just be laughing like Pirates? That's going to be the big question, as LFO, no swaps coming in from either team. So again, Seeker has been the big standout on this map, has really put a lot of pressure onto teams on that Sojourn. So can they continue to do that, as we will have Chronic, who gets to hold the better defensive position on this high ground?
Yeah, they've got to be able to hold out just as well, actually a little bit better than LFO could. They need to get these picks, and they need to get them quickly in succession. But they cannot afford to be losing Stone that early in these fights. Seeker coming in with that rail shot, taking down the Tracer. And now, well, maybe not. Strider comes in with a pick of their own. There's still a chance, obviously, for either of these two teams to really stabilize and take it out. But if Mirror goes down, they're running for the fences to stay alive. But it's Stone coming back from spawn, getting the revenge kill, taking Seeker out, and maybe allowing Pirates in Pyjamas to stabilize.
Yeah, things are looking good so far for Pirates. LFO has been unable to unhinge them off of this high ground. Looks like they're going to attempt to do so once again, but they're just continuing to bleed time, and this is only looking good for Pirates. They need to just continue this momentum.
They really do. They really do indeed. Zera's forced to recall out. Stone still alive for the moment. They've got to find a pick. Zera rotating around, looking for that pulse bomb, then looking for the assassination as well. Kitsune Rush available from MCD is going to be used, as well as Divinities, and MCD goes down quickly afterwards. As Stone getting in on the kill feed, finding 3 for Pip to hold on yet again. 4 coming in for the Tracer in red.
Yeah, the only issue is you also committed your Terra Surge if you're Strider, so that's one issue you're going to be facing for this next fight, is that's going to be the advantage LFO has. But they will have to win 2 consecutive fights to be able to send you home. Half the time off the clock already.
Now Pulse Bomb was invested by Stone there early on. Zera still looking for their own. Sound Barrier comes in from Liar, and Mateball is caught out. Mirror comes in. Pulse Bomb's out. Not going to be able to find anyone, but again, that's just a huge pick, and now Stone falls out. Strider coming down as well, and this is down to last fight territory, I'd have to say, Ray.
Yeah, that it is. Both teams are going to have 2 ultimates to be able to commit. Dueling overclocks, I talked about. Seeker's been the standout player for LFO on this map. Has the ult to be able to do, and is able to take the aggressive angle as the point. Touch! Go on, touch!
They get the touch. There's the huge. That's huge. But Chronic is so low. Strider has found out Seeker in the midst of their overclock, which is huge. Strider might have made the play yet again for Pirates in Pyjamas to hold on, and now Mirror is out of the fight, and now things are looking a little bit more interesting here, Ray. Pirates in Pyjamas have to hold on for 50 more seconds.
Yeah, one final fight for both of these teams to make something happen. Strider is going to have the Terra Surge advantages. Both of these Kirikos will get the Kitsune Rushes online, but I'm looking at Strider. He's been aggressive. He's going to be looking for a big Terra Surge play early in this fight.
Yeah, they've got to stay alive. Chronic needs to stay up. There's the Terror Surge out. Seeker is so low. They're going to be able to Suze him away for the moment. Seeker's going to stay up, but MCD goes down. There's a huge play coming in. The massive plays coming in from Strider just continue to hold on. The Kitsune Rush comes in. 10 seconds to go, Ray. And this is changes coming in all around. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Anyone touch? Yes, they get there in the end. Zero gets the touch. Seeker needs to get there. They're going to be able to translocate out, but is it going to happen? I don't think it is. Pirates in Pyjamas are filling the kill feed. The overtime bar ticks away. Who says March Madness only exists in basketball? The bracket buster has happened. Pirates in Pyjamas take down LFO.
And complete the upset and say they get the fuller hold. I think both of us were in agreement that it was feeling rough for Pirates. It felt like deja vu. It had to have been creeping in their heads what happened against Pyjamas. Essentially the same spot on their attack, but they are able to come up with the goods on the defense. And Strider finding that pick on Seeker amidst the overclock, that just shut it down. That was like, c'est la vie, it's over. We're winning this map.
We got to keep singing the praises of Strider, because I feel like without Strider playing perhaps the game of his life, we're talking about LFO winning this here, because Strider consistently was the driving force behind this Pirates in Pyjamas squad. We saw time and time again. First pick in the kill feed. Who is it? Strider finding a pick onto a key target, which is massive. Just coming in consistently, able to just stabilize this the entire comp for Pirates in Pyjamas.
Could not agree with you more. Oh, as we all need to take a good breath, is that every single map so tightly contested, so close, but Pirates get the edge in the end and get to climb their way through this lower bracket and cure their demons that happened against Timeless.
Yeah, that was just some great stuff all around. We're going to look back yet again. I mean, the Tracer plays that we've seen throughout the series is huge. They just continuously were able to find big play after big play. And it wasn't just the Tracers. It was these nice shots coming in from the Sojourns as well. But again, I think we just have to say, I mean, Strider has to be the man of the match for this entire series.
Yeah, I could not agree with you more. Strider just continued to come up clutch time and time again when Pirates needed them the most. So I agree. If I was going to award an MVP, it is definitely going to Strider. They were going incredible on that Orisa duel against Mirror.
Yeah, it's now, yeah, I mean, that was just incredible stuff. And I mean, I hate keeping talking about it, but the huge plays that we kept seeing from them is just incredible. I mean, they were able to win fights with those key picks that we just kept seeing from Strider time and time again, getting MCD out, taking Seeker out of these fights. It is just huge.
That it was. So once again, congratulations to Pirates in Pyjamas, taking the victory 3-2. And man, what a match. And condolences to LFO, man. Y'all played your hearts out, and unfortunately the stage 1 journey ends in the lower bracket.
Yeah, it's unfortunate stuff all around. Hopefully we'll see them back together as a team. But we will only know when we see stage 2 roll around. But for now, Pirates in Pyjamas have definitely an opportunity to make that sneaky bracket run in the lower rounds. But they still have to deal with just monsters coming down from the winners bracket.
That they do. As we get a little bit of an update, it is still 1-0 Toronto, but as I'm watching the live feed, both teams got all 3 points on Hollywood, and Toronto had no time on the clock, so Timeless is the only one who gets an attack here, so it could very well be 1-1, or it might be a draw on this map, but there's a little update for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you've got to go watch that matchup on the mainstream. That is just going to be a huge, it's definitely going to turn into a barn burner of a series over there. Those two teams very evenly matched at the moment. We'll see if they can continue it up. But I mean, other than that, Ray, I don't think we have much more to say here. Other than thank you all for watching. This has been me, Joker's Ransom. Him, Too Tryhard Ray, and huge shout out to the production staff. There's so many of them in there. I'm going to shout them all out. Solomon, Beamgarden, Kothar, Cry, Orange, and Unfeatured. Thank you all for making everything look good, because without that, we wouldn't have anything we'd just be here rambling around without looking good. It's all huge shout out to BPL as well for making this happen. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to go check out the mainstream, and wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful rest of your day.
Later.